today I am going to talk about the new expansion for Marco Polo named Agents of Venice. In this expansion you are going to have some travel companions that you are going to meet along the way, and this expansion is going to make it possible for you to play with 5 players with the special board that is going to allow you to explore Venice. So, excited how the game is going to work? I am of course going to show you everything that comes in this expansion, and after that I am going to tell you if this is an expansion that is worth getting. Before I'm going to show you how the 2 new modules, Venice and the Travel Companions work, I'm first want to show you the new stuff that comes in the box that you can also use to complement your normal Marco Polo games and make them a little bit more interesting or a little bit more variation and get into your game. So the things that we have are, and the most exciting thing of course, are the 5 new characters that you are going to get, which some of them all come also with some new tiles of their own or some extra cards that you are going to use. Besides that, we have some new city bonus tiles, we have some new city tiles, we have some new contracts that you can fulfill, and you also have some new destination cards. So those are the things that come in the box that you can use for every Marco Polo game to get some variation going. So, of course, the thing you really want to know is all the new characters that come into the expansion. So I'm just going to show you them right now. First of all, we have Pedro Tartiano, and Pedro Tartiano, you are allowed to start the game in one of the little villages that are next to Venice. And every turn you are also allowed to clear one of the actions that you already did, and you are allowed to do that action again. So that is Pedro. Then we have Donata Badur. With Donata Dabur, you get these new you get these new dice, and you can use one every turn, and those are going to be white neutral dice that you can use every turn. And also every round you get 1 camel. So that is Donata. Then we have Papa Gregorio the 10th, which you are going to use with the travel companions. With Gregorio, you can take at the beginning of your turn one of the travel companions that you can use, to your liking, of course. So that is Papa Gregorio the 10th. And then we have the sister and brothers, Bella, Fantina and Moretta. And this one is also very interesting. At the start of the game, you are allowed to get 5 extra characters, and every turn you are going to choose from those 5 characters which character you are going to be for that round. When you used one, you have to throw it away, so every turn is really a different one. You cannot use it again. So that is Bella, Fantina and Moretta. And the last one is Rustipiano, which comes with his own deck of cards. And at the start of the game, you are going to take 6 cards of this deck, and you are allowed every round to use 1 or more of those 6 cards, but you can only use them once, so be very careful when you use them. I am going to show you some of them. So, with this one, you get an extra black die for that round, so that's pretty interesting. With this one, for 2 trading posts that you have, you get, for every 2 trading posts that you have, you get 1 victory point. With this one, you just get some contracts and also some camels, yay. With this one is a very interesting one. The contracts that you fulfill that round, you are going to get the ×2 everything that you get. So that's a pretty cool one. So those are some of the special cards that you get with Rustipiano, and those are the characters that come new in this expansion. To play the Travel Companions module, you are going to put it out like this underneath the board, so that you have 6 Travel Companions to choose from, and the other 3 you are going to put that down in a face down pile, which shows you on the back of every travel companion, the action field is shown, and to get one of these travel companions in your turn, you can put down one of your die on here. You will get one of these 3 resources, and you can take one of the available travel companions. You can do this as many times as you like, and you can use those travel companions, but at the end of the round, all the travel companions are going to be shuffled again, and new ones are going to be at your disposal for the next round. So you can only use them for 1 round, and as many as you will like if you do choose this action. So I'm just going to show a couple of them to you so you have a general idea how they work. So let's get that on camera. It's very quickly. So this one is going to work like this. For 1 time in your turn, you are allowed to trade as many camels for the gold that you like, or the other way around, trade as many gold as you like for the camels, and this is in a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's a very interesting one. One that I also really like is this one. With this one you can get a lot of gold. You have to put down an extra die here, but then you get 8 gold, and if you put down one of your resources, you can even get 5 extra gold. So this is an excellent way to get 13 gold right at once. This one I also really like. This one says that every die you can put count in your head 2 on the number that you rolled, or -2. So in this way you can choose a little bit what your die roll is going to be after you are going to put it down on the board. This one is very good for traveling. This one says that for every part that you travel, you can do -2 camels, so the cost that it's going to cost you to travel there. Or and also for those water sea routes, you are allowed to do -2 cross them with -5 gold coins. So those are some of the companions that are in the game, and that is how the companions work. You can just add that in every game that you like. And those are the travel companions. At the start of the game, you are going to put down the board for Venice, and that is going to go next to the normal board. And I'm just going to zoom in on the action field and get that adjusted. So, how are you going to get in Venice? For that, you are going to do this action, which is a little bit the same as this one right here, the con one, and you're going to do it like this. So, if someone puts down a die, the next person has to have the same number of die or higher. And when you do that, you are allowed to put one of your trading posts in Venice, starting here in the right down corner, and you can go up like that. So for every time you put one of your die there, you are allowed to move up into Venice and hopefully reach the palace right there. Some places, I'm just going to zoom in on that. Some places are going to cost you extra to get there, and furthermore, it just works exactly the same. So you have some extra actions that you can do when you reach that place, or some extra bonus tiles that you are going to be able to have. Then when you get to the top, and I'm just going to show you that right there, you are going to have 2 new actions. You also have these actions, but these are the ones that are pretty interesting. So you are going to be allowed to trade 4 gold to move your pawn somewhere that you want it to move. So that's an extra way to move your pawn. You also have this one. This is going to cost you 5, and you are going to get 3 victory points. So that's also a pretty interesting one. And this is one that doesn't change. So that is just for reaching the palace. You get some pretty interesting bonus actions. And that is how the new board for Venice is going to work out. This is the board that you also are going to use when you are going to play with the 5th player. So that is obligatory to use, but with less players you have the option to add this extra Venice board and try to get as high as possible in Venice. Let's start by saying that I think you should never play this game with 5 players. I love it with
3 or 4 players. Even with 4 players, I sometimes feel that it takes a little bit too long. But 5 players, no, I would not play with 5 players. And that said, it is possible with this expansion to play with 5 players, so if that is something you are interested in, this expansion is going to give you just that. But I think the thing that I really liked was the fact that even if you don't want to play with 5 players, the extra board Venice you can still use with 3 or 4 players. So it is not that big of a deal if you don't want to do that. You can still use that extra module Venice. I do think the module Venice is not that interesting. It does give you some extra tactical choices that you can make, or maybe another strategy if you really want to go for that Venice route. But it doesn't add really anything new. The thing that I really did like were those new characters. They are really cool. And you are able to jazz up your game with just those characters and some of those extra cards that come into this expansion. So you do not really have to add anything of those modules to still change a little bit of your basic vanilla Marco Polo, which you can add to any game really. It doesn't really matter if you do it with new players. They are still going to have the same game, but for you it does feel a little bit different because you have some new characters that you can choose from, and they are very fun. Especially the ones that give you those extra cards that you can choose from, or the one that gives you those extra dice, white dice that you can use every round. It's really cool that they added them with some extra cards. The other module, the one I didn't already talk about, those travel companions, I liked more actually than the Venice, because they did feel like there was a new thing to do on the board and like a new action, and not even that. Really like it did make the game different, because it gave you an advantage every round if you use them, but you did not have to use them because it does cost dice. But it was like you had a new character every round that you could choose from, because some of them were really powerful. So that was a really nice module, and I liked it a lot. I think this is a really great expansion for the players that don't want to really change their game. This is definitely one you want to get. If you do really want a different game and really want an expansion that changes things, this is maybe an expansion that you can skip. It's more an expansion that adds a lot of variety than really changes the game a lot. But besides that, I really like it. The modules are great, and the extra stuff that you can add to your game are also great. So concluding, I really liked the expansion for Marco Polo, and I definitely recommend it. And that is Marco Polo Agents of Venice.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.